Hello, welcome to Code and Box Automation Lab. This is Sherful. This lecture is the continuation of SQL tutorial. So in this lecture, we're going to see the combination of use case of combination of some join as well as some group or having clause in SQL. Okay, so in our previous lecture we've seen how to use a different clause like where clause, group by, having, all those things, as well as a different type of join. So I would say if you haven't seen those lectures, so please check my previous lecture so that you have the full idea about the joins and different other statement. Now come to this lecture then, because this is a combination of join and the different statement like group by, how to use the group by, as well as having condition, all those things. So now let's get back to the our exercise. So we have a two table. One is order table and another one is a shipper table. Okay, you can say here also order table, database is a order table and also shipper table, and here is the table we have. And in this two table we have one of the common column is called shipper ID. You can say shipper ID. So question is here, list the number of orders sent by each shipper. So here is a clue. List is the keyword and each is the keyword. So we know if we want to if you have a list keyword, so we want to find an we have to use the count aggregate function to find the number of list for any column. So it's saying list the number of orders, so it means it's a order ID. It means order ID. We have to use the count aggregate function in order ID to find out the total number of order by each ship. By each ship shipper, it means a shipper name. By each ship, then we have to group wise, so it means every shipper we have to find the total number of order ID order has been placed. So for the shipper name we can use the group by clause or statement, and then the column would be the shipper. And since it's happening, the result would be depends in this two table. So we have to use a join. So now it's what would be the join? What type of join? Like left join, inner join, right join. In this case we're going to use left join because we want to make sure get all the data. We want to retrieve all the data for the order ID column. So our priority is the the order ID column, which is our first table or the left table. Okay, so here is the again this is the question, list the number of orders sent by each shipper. Okay, so let's do the coding. So we're going to select. So what do we need? We need here we want to find the count, right? We want to use the count order ID. So we'll say count, and then count on what column is order ID of orders table, right? So we'll say orders dot orders ID. So let's give a name of the column as say number of orders, right? And then what's the next? The next would be we need a shipper column, a shipper name column. So it's a part of our shipper table. So shipper dot shipper name, right? So this is the two table we want to retrieve the data, two columns, so we want to retrieve the data, right? Okay, so but don't worry about this error right now because we select some column but we haven't say actual what's the table, so that's why it shows. So we'll say now next is we'll say from what table. Our first table is orders, right? And then we'll say we want to do left join, right? So we'll say left join, and the left join, what's the another table? Left join, another table name is shipper, and then we'll say what's the common column between these two table? We'll say on. Then the common column is shipper ID, so we'll say orders.ShipperID equals to, we'll say shippers, dot shipper ID, right? Shipper ID is a common, okay. And then we'll say, so this will get the common retrieve the data from the left based on the left join. Then what would be our group? We have to group because we want to get total number of order based on each shipper name. So to get the each shipper, we have to group the shipper name column, right? So we'll say group by statement. Group by what column? Column name is shipper name. Okay, let's run it. Here we go. You can see we found there's a the federal shipping, it's 1, speedy shippers 1, and united package is 1. So and there is another shipper we found 2, or number orders 2, but there's no shipper. Why is not shipper? Okay, let me go to for orders table first. In order table, so we can see we have employee ID 564. There is a 5. Oh, there is a employee ID 5. It has a 3 order, right? There's a 3 order, which is the shipper ID 3. But if I go to the shipper ID, let's go to again shipper ID. Okay, federal ship. Okay, you can see here shipper ID 3 federal shipper. Let me retrieve one more time here. Okay, now let's see. So we found federal shipping, it's 1, it's Speedy Express, United Express, okay, all of them we found 1. So it means it's the common one, it's a 1, 2, 3. So it's okay, federal shipping, speedy, federal shipping, united, right? Here you can see, okay, the first one didn't match, the second one, okay, based on, okay, 111. It shows, okay, here is a, okay, it shows, so here is a little bit, not complex, but you have to notice that. So in a left join, what's really happened? We get all the we retrieve the data from the left column, and between the common, the based on our common column between these two tables, right? And which and the column, the value in your left table, what doesn't match, according to that value, the right table's column gets null. So it means, so let's match these two table. So in our two table, in shipper ID, so the first is like from the left table, there is a 3 shipper ID. Let's see, there is a 3 shipper ID. Okay, so this is a 3 and this is a 3 here. So what's the shipper name? It's federal shipping. So 3, and it has employee ID, you can say 5, and it has 1 order. We found 1 order. Okay, and the same employee, it has two more order, but the shipper ID is not the same. Shipper ID is different, 4 and 5, so which is not common between these two columns. So common is just the 3 one, shipper ID 3. So based on 3, for employee ID 5, we got a 1 order. So that's why federal, which is the 3 is the federal shipper. So federal shipper, and the number of order is 1. Next is 1. Do we have a 1 on the right side? Yes, we do. What is the 1? 1 is Speedy Express. So Speedy Express, so this is the Speedy Express. Let's see there how many. So we got an employee ID 6, and this is the 1 order, right? For the employee ID 6, just only 1 order. So that's why it's a 1, it's coming here in the result. And next one, 2, and we have a 2. Yes, 2 is the shipper name is United Package, and for the 2, employee ID is 4, which is the only 1, and its order also 1 for this employee. So United Package also 1. Then what's the next? Next, from the left side, we have shipper ID 4 and 5, which is not available here in the right side, in my shipper ID on the right side table, right? So 4 and 5 is still, it will get the value in our result sheet, and from the right table, according, corresponding these two value would be the null here. The 4 and 5 shipper ID is missing, and both for 4 and 5, both of the shipper ID, it's only 1 employee. You can see employee ID 5, and it means the same employee had a 2 order and different shipper ID. So it means 4 and 5 have a 2 order. So that's why here is a 2 order, but in the right side, in the right table, there is no shipper ID according to 4 and 5. So that's why it says it should be the shipper name as a null. Okay, because it's a left join, so it's priority the left table, and if there data in between the common column between these two table, if the data is not matching according to that data from the right side table, would be null. Here is that's why it shows null. Okay, so if you still don't understand, please watch my tutorial lecture regarding about the left join, then it will make you clear. Okay, hope you understand that, and it's very simple concept. Thank you so much.